Like, does that make him go, okay, I've fucked up. I've really pushed the envelope here. I need to rectify this. And then if he doesn't get off the couch and continues to be the same way, then he's pulling the lazy breakup card.
You're listening to Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers with your hosts Greg Barrett and Kane Holloway.
Hello and welcome to Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers. I'm your one and only host today, Kane Holloway.
And I'm producer Pat.
Greg's not here to yell at you.
No.
You know, I didn't have a problem with you not introducing yourself. Whether you introduce yourself or not, maybe I shouldn't put this on the podcast, because when Greg comes back and he yells at you again, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be like, yeah, man, why didn't you get your shit together? Because he doesn't listen. He doesn't know we're having this heart to heart right now. No. I don't care. Introduce yourself. Don't introduce yourself. People know that you're here. And if you don't introduce yourself, guess what? I'll do you the courtesy of introducing you. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat is here. He's here. So Greg is still on his boat. He's entertaining people on a cruise ship, and he's giving them the best goddamn show those white people ask for. I'll tell you that much for free. It just feels like cruises is like a white people thing to do. I'm also I keep stumbling into conversations about what other races think about white people. I'm so curious. Mm-hmm. I'm always so curious. When you get together and make fun of white people, what do you say? And the results are always just, other than the fact that they don't, the first one feels like it's hard to laugh about it, that other races don't trust white people. That's like the first thing. It's like, I don't trust white people. And I go, yeah, I get it. And they're like, you don't get it because you're white people. And I'm like, yeah, you're true. That's true. I probably don't get it. But also, I just don't trust white people either. White people they're always looking around. I'm looking around. What are you looking at? Stop looking at me. Anyway, I don't know why that got put. Oh, I think why did I bring that up? You know what? I had it and then I lost it almost immediately. Caroline's getting her weed paraphernalia. Unbelievable. Professionalism, Caroline. Anyway, yeah, we're hoping Greg is out there and he's safe and he'll be back. And if you guys missed the crotchety old man of the show, then I'm really sorry that you have the two youthful bald men. Even though Pat is in his 50s, I would say you're very youthful for a 50-year-old man. You have many activities, likes. You ride a motorcycle. No, everyone's shocked that you're 50. Mm-hmm. So, we're the young spry men of the show, even though I'm in my mid 30s. And you're in your 50s. We still bring youth and wonder. For some reason, if you look at our past experiences, which you don't divulge a whole lot about your past on the show, but you do have a past and have been hurt like many of us. Mm-hmm. You would think that life and the people around us would have ground us down to a nub so that we would then have the sensibilities of old man Greg.
Yeah.
But we don't. We still come to the show with a lot of youth, with a lot of fervor,
Mm-hmm.
and whimsy. I would say you and I are both filled with whimsy, like pixies, you know? You're not watching The Bachelorette, are you?
Oh, no.
That's right. You don't watch The Bachelorette. There's a new Too Hot to Handle coming out. So are you going to watch that?
Sure. That's a show that's insane enough for me to watch.
Okay. Yeah, the new Bachelorette is I'm watching it because I kind of missed it a little bit. There's something about it I missed. Whereas before I was like inundated with too much Bachelor horseshit and I got bored.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became friends with the Bachelorette. Katie Thurston's supposed to be on the show. A lot of different things have happened that have like made it so we have to keep rescheduling, both on my end. So I apologize to Katie. But you sit around and you have a friend who is a Bachelorette. You don't even really need the show anymore. You know,
Yeah.
You get to do shows with a Bachelorette. It's pretty cool. And so, but then for some reason I got the itch again. For some reason I saw, all right, there's a new Bachelorette season out. I have no idea who she is. She's from, because the way it goes is the only way that you become a Bachelor or a Bachelorette is if you were a contestant on the show. So if she's the new Bachelorette, that means that she was on Zach's season. So now we're at a point in Bachelor Nation where Greg knows more than me because he kept watching. I got him hooked, and then I got healthy and decided I decided I'm going to get clean from Bachelor Nation, and he kept going like, hit me. Like keep feeding it. He just wanted it so bad. And I'm like, it's not good anymore. It's black tar. It's terrible. It's going to kill you. And then I'm like, you need to get right with God. Stop watching The Bachelor. You know it's bad. Every time we get on the show, we talk about it. You can't help but say how bad it is. And then I relapsed and started watching Bachelor again. And the first episode, apparently they made her brother. They need gimmicks. They need gimmicks to make us engage in the show. Mm-hmm. So they bring on her brother. He comes out of a limo, as it might be somebody she knows, and then he comes out and it's her brother. And it's so weird. Then he's like, I'm gonna be your eyes and ears today to see what these men have to say. So he puts on a wig.
Oh no.
And a fake mustache, and he goes and bartends. I don't even know if he's a bartender. I don't see him doing much bartending. In fact, I see him sitting there looking like he's wearing a disguise.
I have a question.
Yeah, hit me.
They don't know what he looks like. Why is he wearing a disguise?
Because, she got all the way to hometowns, and the Zach guy met her family, and apparently he's very important to him. So if you're watching the show, you might know who he is.
Okay.
Even if you did watch the show, you're gonna remember what her brother looks like. Very doubtful. Very doubtful. But they put him in the worst disguise I've ever seen. They might as well have put an eye patch on him. Like, give him more things for you to be like a scar down his cheek, like the wig could have been any color. They made it black and they had a black mustache, but it's so, as soon as you walk up, one of the guys on the contestants is like, is that a fake mustache? They called him on it. And he's like, no. And Pat's, because that's how you get away with saying you don't have a fake mustache. Because people ask me all the time. People are always constantly like, hey, is that facial hair fake? And I go, no. And then I pat it closer, Nothing says there's glue on my face more than patting the little mustache back onto your dumb head. So anyway, He's there to see if any of the guys talk shit. That's the whole thing. He's there to see if the guys are going to talk shit about the girl and about Charity. And and no one talks shit. One guy talks about how he got a kiss and how excited he was. And then the brother decides, the producers must have been like, all right, this is as far as we're going to go. It's strange, but all of these guys are being very respectful. Even the guy that got a kiss is not saying anything crazy. He's not going up there and he's like, oh, I kissed that bitch. He didn't say any of that. He's like, yeah, I got a kiss from her. She didn't even see it coming, bro. I played her like a fiddle. None of that. None of that happened. He went to the bar and he's like, guys, I got a kiss. Like he just maybe shared, like he was overexcited about getting a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a contestant on that show, even if I really am looking for love, let's say I'm already struck by the beauty of Charity. And from watching her season, I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of like, I'm crushing on this girl. And I get there and I'm there for the right reasons. And this guy's like, I got a kiss. I still wouldn't be like totally upset. That's part of the show. She's dating 30 guys.
Right.
You know, like if we talked about, I talked about it with my girlfriend because we were watching a different show. And we talked about how like one guy's like super jealous of, well, when they were fuck buddies, this guy was jealous because she would cut up her time between him and the other guy. And he got crazy jealous. And so then she asked me, she was like, if I were to have split my time when we were fuck buddies, because when we started out, she had a roster and I was like, just let me know when you're going to be seeing them. I'll find something else to do, you know? And then she just never went to go hang out with those guys. And then eventually we stopped being fuck buddies because if you are a fuck buddy if it's every day, if you are buddies and fuck every day, something else is going to happen, you know? So, and then, but she was like, what if I had actually split my time between those two other guys? And I was like, no, I still would have understood the assignment, you know, and hoped that we got to this point, you know, because I was crushing on you and like I already had those feelings, but like I was starting to like you more and more, but we had already made the rules. So I wasn't trying to, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and go back on that, you know? And so I was like, no, I was waiting for it. I was like waiting for that scenario to go down. It just never came up. And so this is the same, you know, and not only is this, it's similar in a way, but the other way that it's not similar is you don't fucking know this girl.
Yeah.
You don't know her to get jealous. Yeah. And nobody really was jealous. Like you could tell that they had to sit the guys down and go, what do you think of fucking Leon? What do you think of him? I'm not sure that's his name, but what do you think of fucking Leon telling everybody about him kissing that girl? And you can tell the guys were like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
No. Like it's fucked up, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, come on, man. Like you're talking out of school. Come on. They made a mountain out of a molehill from this kiss thing. So then the brother goes up and he's like, I just want to tell you that Leon is not really what he says he is. He's a little too boisterous. I mean, they really tried their best to fucking cause some drama. And then, so she's like, okay, let me talk to him. So she talks to him and she's like, so my brother says that you were pretty boisterous when it came to our kiss. And then he's like, oh yeah, I told everybody. I told everybody. And then she's like, okay, can you give me a second? And then she walks away, and then she comes back and she goes, here's the first impression, Rose. I love you. Like she's like already, it didn't even do anything.
Oh my God.
It like, he didn't do anything. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like turning to my girl and I'm like, he didn't do anything. This is so dumb. But you got to have some tension. And I don't think any of these guys want to be the villain right now. No, nobody wants to be the villain out the gate in this season. So pretty boring, but I'm interested to see what happens with the fun little kind of spy shit they're gonna try to do. It felt like an episode of Chuck. Did you ever watch Chuck?
No.
Chuck is such a cheap looking show for a show that was so like massively popular in the like late 2000s.
Yeah.
Like the show is super popular, but it looks cheap as shit. Like even their guns some days, the karate, the choreography, some of the things they make Chuck do, the stuff they give Chuck to wear for him to go in and be a spy. They're constantly talking about how he wants to be a spy, which I feel like is not something spies actually do. Spies don't talk about being spies, like saying the word spy as often as they do. They say spy every episode. I'm watching it now. I've never seen the show. And so I'm watching it, and because it's on Max, and I fucking the whole time I'm watching it, I like, this is a product of the time. Holy shit. Does this show look bad? It looks bad. Like just some of the car chases are bad. And they just can't keep talking about being a spy. And it's so not, it's like, it's not not immersive in that way, even though I'm like fucking in season 4. I can't stop watching it. It's still really entertaining. And the Zachary, whatever, Levi, politics or not, it's really good in the show. So it's kind of, and then I'm in love with the Sarah woman in the show. She's really good. She's also in Handmaid's Tale. But that's what that episode felt like. It felt like an episode of Chuck where he was like, I was a spy, and guess what I found out? And I'm going to go tell my sister about it. And then it didn't fucking change nothing. It didn't change anything about it. Nobody. Then they did the rose ceremony, and it was like a regular episode of The Bachelor or Bachelorette or whatever. Anyway, that's my little Bachelor news. I just thought it was funny that they put a fucking wig and a mustache on the guy and glasses. They gave him glasses. They tried to pull the Clark Kent thing. And then he takes the glasses and the mustache off, and they're like, I'm her brother. And they're like, whoa, my mind is blown. None of you care. That's nothing. And you know it's nothing. I got a letter on Instagram, my Instagram at Kane Holloway, from a listener. And everybody has been super, everyone's been very kind and been sending me really nice messages after my cat Griffey passed away. Also, I'm so sorry that I was so somber. Like everyone was like, a lot of the messages were like, Jesus, I'm so sad. Your sadness made me sad. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I know we wanted to, like I said, it just like it feels good to talk about him. It makes him seem like he's here, but also it's really sad to talk about him sometimes, like I go through waves. I'm in the, some days I'm like, I'm chilling and I'm okay, and then I see something that reminds me of him, and then I'm like, I'm a blubbery mess. So I'm sorry if you tuned in to hear some funny goofs and gaffs about people's relationship problems, and you're hearing my sad, torturous voice talk about my deceased cat, and it made you want to kill yourself, then I'm sorry. But I do appreciate everyone and all the things that they said. and everyone was lovely. But I did have somebody hit me up, give me some nice. They said some nice things about last week's episode, but then they also have a question, and it's a very interesting one. It says, "Hey Kane, I'm a new listener to the podcast, but a proud one. I also love the clips I see for Going Dutch, and I hope you can bring the show to my town soon. I need some advice from you, and if you read it on the show, would you be so kind as to keep me one of the many anonymous listeners who write in? That would be appreciated. My boyfriend and I have a pretty playful relationship. We tease each other a lot, and I found that my love language is getting made fun of and making fun of him. Welcome to the show."
Yeah.
But lately, my boyfriend has been getting pretty personal with his teasing, which is leading to us fighting. We were at dinner with some friends, and my chair creaked when I sat in it, and he said, "Whoa, wide load."
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which made everyone uncomfortable, and rather than apologize, he doubled down. The whole meal, he kept telling me which foods I should stay away from, otherwise the chair would finally give way.
Oh, no.
Oh, fucking Christ. I'm also getting a sense that he's jealous of a guy coworker of mine, because anytime he gets brought up, he starts to make jokes that I'm cheating on him with my coworker. I told a story about us getting coffee on a break, and my boyfriend interrupts me to say, "So then you guys fucked in the bathroom. I knew you were a whore."
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
yikes.
And when I get upset, he tells me I'm getting too sensitive and misses the old me who could take a joke. It feels like something switched in him, where once it was fun ribbing, now he's mean and intentionally trying to hurt my feelings. Also, our fights now last days. I'm not sure what to do. Any help would be appreciated. Thank you for the shows you put on, and I hope I get to see all three of you live soon. That's from Anonymous. Yeah, something's definitely going on in his brain. This feels like he's trying to end the relationship while not having the balls to end the relationship. Like, I've been in scenarios like that where I've said the wrong thing. I say the wrong thing all the time. I have no intention of hurting anytime I'm in any relationship I've ever been in. I go to tease them about something, and it hits a sore spot, and I realize my mistake, but there have been times that I didn't want to own up to it either. Like, I was like, maybe I'll just be quiet, but I don't want to apologize. Sorry, my dog is barking. Junie, you fuck. But I don't want to apologize for my mistake, because then then I have to then realize I'm in the wrong and I have to apologize. And there's been times where I'm just like, I don't want to own up to it. I was joking, I was only kidding, but and then we get into fights, and then my next course of action would to just not say stuff like that again, rather than apologize for what I said. Then in other times, now I'm a little more, I'm way more ready to just, like, I said it. That was too far.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I will apologize. But if he's going after you like this, as hard as he's going in with these, like, really inappropriate in front of people, and then he's also making these, like, you're fucking your coworker jokes with, and if they seem as harsh as you're painting them, then I'm under the assumption that I wouldn't go so far as to say he's cheating, but he's definitely doing everything he can. He's taking all the steps to get you to end it.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like to me. He's like pulling a classic, he's just not that into you, but you guys are in a relationship move where he is being he is being mean. And it feels like you guys have talked about how, like, you know, and I love the fact that we can like make fun of each other, and it's like, it's so cool to, you know, but you know, even as comics, I mean, we talk about this all the time. We're like, as comics, comics are just as sensitive, if not more so. We can get really sensitive, especially Greg. Have you seen him? He's so sensitive. But yeah, there's times where we're like, yikes, that was harsh. That was too far. And you know, people who are like, come on, it's just a joke. I'm just joking. Especially your boyfriend, someone you're supposed to love and trust and do all that, like have that dynamic, is supposed to have your back, won't have your back now, and also just like doesn't see the harm in the things that he's saying, then I'm under the assumption he's attempting to end the relationship by being as mean as possible. And I wouldn't say he's cheating on you, but I wouldn't rule it out either. You know, I wouldn't, you know, that kind of making jokes about you cheating on him is either a deep-rooted jealousy that he has that's now finally coming out, and that he's now making your problem and another way to end the relationship, or he's cheating.
Yeah.
And he's actively trying to make it seem like you're cheating, like putting that classic. This is classic. This is a classic little maneuver this guy is doing. Whether he's doing the worst part of it or not, whether he's cheating or not, it's still not healthy. And I don't know if you guys live together or not, or you guys, hopefully you don't, but I would take quite a bit of time apart. If you guys are in separate places, which I hope you are, I would just tell him you need a break. Like, I need a break from whatever the fuck this is. Because if we're fighting for days and, you know, I'm going to assume you probably, you know, you fight and then you guys just don't talk for however many days until you finally come around to having some sort of half-assed celebrity apology, then yeah, I would take some time, and I would really think about weighing out whether or not this is a good relationship. I mean, in raw reality, if it's going this way, I don't know how long you guys have been dating. I mean, feel free to update us, but I don't know how long you guys have been dating. But if it's been months or even years, if it's going this direction and you can't, it's probably going to get worse. Sounds like. Hopefully it doesn't. But, you know, I would say take some time away. Tell them how you feel. I would even say this. Tell them you need some time away, if you can take some time away, and you don't want to talk, and that you'd rather just have some you time alone, and you want to rethink the dynamic of the relationship. And then see if that sparks him into action. Like, does that make him go, okay, I've fucked up. I've really pushed the envelope here. I need to rectify this. And then if he doesn't get off the couch and continues to be the same way, then he's pulling the lazy breakup card. That's what I think. So let me know if that helped at all. And if you're in a similar situation, also feel free to write in dtbffpodcast@gmail.com and dtbff podcast on Instagram. And yeah, let us know. Hopefully that helps. And we'll be right back. So I have a few movie recommendations for everybody. Good little date night for couples who, you know, you're tired of the bar scene. You're tired of going out and trying to grind on each other. You know, you get to a point in your relationship where you're like, you know, it'd be nice to just cuddle up and watch a movie and not take ecstasy and shots and wake up so distraught and hungover. And, you know, then you got to do a line to get yourself right again. And then you're like, let's go to brunch and get Bloody Marys. You know, stop all the excessive early first couple months drinking and fucking. It's time to slow down and watch some movies. What an intro. Yeah. Have you seen Extraction 2, Pat?
I have not.
Extraction 2 is like, you ever play the video game Uncharted?
Yeah.
So it's like Uncharted 2. It's such a video game. There's like this big long one take where they're trying to get these people out of this prison. And it goes like there's one really long take. Then they cut to a few scenes where they got to cut to get to like the long take to get out of the prison is crazy. Then they cut to a long take of them after that on a train. And it goes for so long. I thought the whole movie, after you get to the setup of why they get to the prison and then all this, I was like, I hope the whole movie is them constantly in peril from here on out. And it's just a bunch of different one long takes from here on out. Unfortunately, after that first giant chunk, I would say it's like 20 minutes. It's so long. It's crazy. After that, they take some time off and they do some exposition stuff. And then there's more action. And the action scenes get worse. They get less interesting. They busted a nut so quickly at the start of the movie. Then afterwards, they're like, how much money do we have left? And they're like, not a lot. We gave a lot of it to Hemsworth to do this movie. And then they're like, fuck, okay, well, I guess they're going to have to do some just some regular fighting, and we'll cut it up and put it at the end of that'll be the end of the movie is this version of it. And then they tease a sequel. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I would say that the Extraction is goofy, but it feels like a video game for a lot of it. And so if you're a big video game fan, it's like, you know how video game movies try to recreate the feeling of playing that game and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
This does it without having the caveat of being based off of a video game. Like the train sequence, the whole time I was like, this is some Call of Duty Uncharted shit. This is fucking awesome. It was so thrilling. And then it just gets kind of dull. And I'm like, why didn't you plan out the last half of this? Like the last half of this is kind of boring. Anyway, but I did like it. I would say it's like a 7 out of 10. So that one's pretty good. And then for comic book fans, it's kind of weird. We have a lot of listeners. I don't ever know if they like our comic book talk.
Yeah.
Because no one comments on it. But no one comments on it positively, and no one comments on it negatively either. No one's like, hey, how about a moratorium on the comic book conversation? So whatever. But I watched Gotham, Batman, I think it's Doom Comes to Gotham or something like that. Have you seen the animated trailer for this?
No, but I would certainly watch it, I'm sure.
Dude, let me double check. Doom Comes to Gotham. The Doom that came to Gotham. Yeah, the Doom that came to Gotham is based off of a run in the early 2000s, and it's Batman in the 20s, but it's also a recreation of a Lovecraft story. So it's like about it, like ethereal Lovecraftian octopus monsters that are trying to come to Gotham and take over the planet and destroy the Earth. But the way they incorporate all of Batman's rogues gallery in this is crazy how cool it is. Like each bad guy feeds into the next one in a way like that's so creative. Like the way you get Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, it's not in how you would see it in a traditional Batman comic. It's done completely differently, and it's fucking so cool. The way they introduce Dick Grayson as Batman's sidekick is a completely different take. And it made me want to pick up the graphic novel and read it, because there's obviously stuff they had to take out to make an hour and 30 minutes, and it's an hour and 30 minutes. That's the cool thing about, like, if you're in a relationship where like one of the people loves superhero movies and the other one doesn't, but you're like, my boyfriend loves superhero movies and they're 3 hours long. I don't know how many fucking times I can watch Endgame. Like I get it. I sympathize. I'm one of those guys that's like, I want to see the new Batman. And then my girl's like, how long is it? And I go, it'll take us all day to watch it. It's going to take us all day. And then she's like, oh, okay. And so I try to make it like we watch it episodically, because she just doesn't have the attention span for it. I go, all right, well, we'll stop here and we'll just say like, this is a cliffhanger, and let's go do something else. And then we'll come back and have you chomping at the bit. But the animated movies, the good ones, they're only an hour and 30 minutes. They trim so much fat and they still end up being really good. So I would say this one had me like really excited. So I would check out the Doom that came to Gotham if you're a superhero fan. Animated movies still get a bad rap. People are like, oh, animated movies for kids. This one's pretty demented. It's pretty fucking crazy. So check that out. Those are my two recs. Do you have any recs?
I'm going to say, if you have not seen Renfield yet, check out Renfield. Better than it had any reason to be. Both of the male leads, obviously Nicolas Cage is great as a maniac. Certainly not his first outing as a vampire. He's fantastic. Yeah. And I can't recall the name of the other male lead. He's great. He's fantastic. He's really, really good.
Oh, yeah. Nicholas Hoult.
He's great in the movie.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult. I love Nicholas Hoult. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great in so many things. And Nicolas Cage is so good. Would you recommend The Flash to people?
If you're a deep superhero nerd, yes. Otherwise, you're not going to like it. The references will probably fall flat. Like there's no, if you're not super into superheroes, no.
Right. And if you can't forgive Ezra Miller for their crimes against humanity, this movie isn't for you.
Yeah.
Like you forget, because I was so excited for The Flash that you forget, oh yeah, he's like choking people and breaking into their homes, or they're choking people and breaking into their homes. Like, not good. Like a lot of really bad things. Ezra was doing a lot of bad, naughty, terrible, awful, no good things. And then they show the Flash trailer and I'm like, oh man, crimes? I don't know no stinking crimes. Let's see the Flash.
And they're good in the role too. I want to hate them.
They're good in both roles as both Barrys. It's but yeah, I did a whole video on it on YouTube and Instagram, and I did a whole spoiler talk about the CGI. I would call it CGI. It's like you know when like you have candy, you put a bunch of candy in a bag, and you leave that bag in a hot car. I mean, you pull the bag out and they're all fucking fused together, and it's just a distorted amount of color, and you can't tell what Laffy Taffy is to which M&M. You know, you're like, it's all just kind of all a blob now. That's what I would say all of the CGI is in this movie. It's a heated bag of candy. It's just fucking awful and weird to look at. You have a Buzzfeed article that you brought to the show?
I do. So one of the things that we like to attack on the show, and rightfully so, is toxic masculinity. It's not doing anybody any fucking favors. It's, knock it off, guys. Seriously. And the thing is, sometimes men are also the victim of toxic masculinity. It's not exclusive. So I pulled one called "Men Are Sharing Examples of Men Are Sharing Examples of Toxic Masculinity They've Faced Personally." So let's run these down, and they're obviously ludicrous. Wearing safety gear. I got made fun of for wearing life-saving safety gear on job sites.
You have to. It's an OSHA requirement. Right? I've had so many blue-collar jobs where I've gotten written up for not wearing safety equipment. Nobody's come out and called me gay for wearing a helmet. You have to. You have to, or you'll get fined. That's so bizarre.
It is so bizarre. Apparently, it's not manly to protect yourself. Wearing a seatbelt.
What about cups? What about cups for your balls when you're playing baseball? Helmets, pads for football. You fucking idiots. It's not manly to protect yourself. All right, stand wide and let me kick you in the balls with a steel toe boot. And let's see how much you were like, oh yeah, I'm pretty manly now that I've obliterated your nutsack.
Oh my God.
An idiot. How manly are you going to be without a dick and balls after I fucking boot him into space? Stupid.
Let's see here. Wearing seatbelts. I always wear seatbelts in cars, but every so often someone will scoff or poke fun that I put on my seatbelt when we share a cab or an Uber.
Again, it is a requirement. It's not
the law.
Again, you'll get fined if you don't wear it. You have to wear it. And then also, I love people who are like that when they get pulled over, what's the first thing they grab that they don't have on? You fucking dipshit. Oh no, clink, 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 as it won't come out of its seat because you grabbed it too hard and the seatbelt thinks you're in a car accident. Clink, 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 and then you get a ticket for being on your cell phone, speeding, and not wearing your fucking safety belt. You short-sighted, you dimwit.
This next one is absolutely mystifying. Wearing purple. My favorite color is purple. I've tried to wear purple and nope, too many dumbass comments.
I don't really care for the color purple either, but I would never trash somebody for wearing it. I don't like the color purple as an aesthetic choice, like in a house or whatever. But I don't like not watch the Minnesota Vikings on purpose. Oh, they're wearing purple and they're wearing helmets. What a bunch of pussies. Purple helmet wearing pussies.
Another just absolutely ludicrous one. Feeling sad or tired.
Grandpa. You're never tired. You're never tired. Sad is one thing. Tired? You're never fucking tired. You coke fiend? What are you talking about? Sleeping is for women? I don't understand. It's not masculine to be tired. What's the one thing men say when they have something wrong, when there's something wrong with them that they don't want to talk about? What's the first thing that comes out of their mouth? Oh, I'm just tired. That's actually one of the manliest things you could say, is not actually talk about your feelings. And then you blame it on the fact that I'm just working all the time. I'm so tired. When really all you're doing is withholding your feelings because you're just trying to be too masculine. So you go with tired. Who's the guy? What fucking ass backwards guy was like, what's wrong, man? And you're like, oh, I'm just tired. And I'm like, oh, gross. You suck dick too? That doesn't make any sense. Tell me what you're feeling. You can't be tired. Tired's for ladies and kittens.
This next one hits pretty close to home for me. Not caring about cars or sports.
Yeah, man. I had a lot of friends growing up that were all car guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just could not be bothered. I would sit and they'd open the hood. I don't know, think about it, like we were 16. I just thought it was so strange that they cared so much. And then we just open the hood and they would like talk about all these car parts. They could have very well been lying about the names of all the car parts. I would have no idea, and I never asked follow-up questions.
Right.
I didn't care. Then I got my truck, and they're like, "What kind of?" I got a 69 F100 pickup, and they were like, "Oh, what kind of engine does it have in it?" And I'm like, "A big one." I don't know. It's steel, and it eats up a lot of gas and oil. That's all I know about it. I'm spending all of my dishwasher money that I make on gas and oil trying to get to these parties. I don't know. Let's put NOS in it. That's as far as I get. I don't know.
We've got watching certain movies and listening to certain songs. People would make fun of me for watching certain movies or listening to certain songs that had a woman singing.
Yeah, I do actually remember that being a thing. I loved one of my favorite songs was it was a Mariah Carey song. It was the one where she's like, do, 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 do. When you walk by every night, talking sweet and looking fine. That song.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love that song. I'd like clean the house to that song. It's so peppy and upbeat and great. And it was I put it on a mix, but it was like it was a little mix just for me. Because I wasn't secure enough in my masculinity to like throw that into my like my dad's car, like CD player or whatever, when I'd go and like drive my buddies around. And one day I left it in there and Mariah Carey popped up and I was like, oh, it must have been summer. It's definitely her CD. And as I pull it out, it says Kane's mix. They're like, oh, Kane likes Mariah Carey. I was so embarrassed. Now I could care. Like, you know how many great songs are written by women? I belt out with them. I don't give a fuck. I love romantic comedies. One of my favorite romantic comedies of all time is A Lot Like Love, starring Ashton Kutcher and Amanda Peet. It's wonderful. It's lovely. It might even be a really bad movie. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a minute. Like it might story-wise just be crap. I don't know. But I love it. I think it's great. I love that movie. I've seen Sex in the City. I watched Sex in the City with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, no, I don't care. I don't want to watch this show. And then you get stuck into as soon as you see Carrie doing something fucked up, you're like, what is she doing? She keeps going back to Big. He's going back to Big. He's so bad for her. He's so bad. How is he the hero at the end of the story? Oh, it should be the other. It should be Aiden. You know, I got all like invested in the world. I really got invested in. You know what? Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched the show?
I have not. Like I've seen clips here and there, but I don't think I've really sat down and watched an episode.
Yeah, there's an episode of where Aiden and Big meet at Aiden's cabin. I might have already talked about it before, but I was like a big Aiden fan. I was pro Aiden, anti Big, and then Aiden was like, to make a comparison to Carrie, he made a comic book comparison, and he goes, because they're both pretty wealthy, they like. So, but he's a little more down to earth. And he says, he makes a comparison that out of the two characters that Carrie could choose to be with, there's the Green Hornet or Batman. She'd want to be with, he compares himself to the Green Hornet because obviously Big is like Batman. He's dressed in all black. He has black cars. He's got black hair. He's got a Bruce Wayne type demeanor. Whereas he's a little more down to earth. He's a little more Green Hornet. So apt comparison for sure. Like, yes, you're very much Green Hornet. They both have sidekicks that are smaller than them. I understand why he would then go, I'm the Green Hornet. You want to be with the Green Hornet. No one wants to be with the Green Hornet. Aiden, even if you think you are the Green Hornet in this scenario, you strive to be Batman. Who wants to be Green Hornet? No one. You know what people want? You know who people want to be? They want to be Kato. They'd rather be Kato. He's so much cooler than the Green Hornet. He's dressed in all black. He knows martial arts. He's cool as fuck. He gets to drive the dope cars while the Green Hornet sits in the back like some rich socialite bitch with a green mask over his face, and it's just over his eyes. Fuck the Green Hornet. For real, fuck the Green Hornet. Aiden, you're wrong. At this moment, I choose Big. If I were Carrie and I heard you say that and I knew my shit, I would say, ew. I would get the ick immediately, and I would jump in Big's car and go home with him. Because what the fuck are you talking about? No one wants to fuck the Green Hornet. It made me so mad.
This one, I'm sure we've both encountered this. Being expected to drink a lot, chugging alcohol, keep going, shots.
Yeah, I'm a sober coach, as well as all the other things that I do. Tattoo artist, comedian. It's like I'm making a Tinder profile right now. But I do will coach people in their sobriety, very early days, and a lot of what comes up in the conversations with trying to figure out how to be in an environment where people are drinking and they're afraid of the peer pressure. And I always tell them, in these scenarios, there's 3 different points where you're going to say I'm an alcoholic, and it's going to hit differently each time. There's three different points. The first point is you're going to say it with a sense of you're defeated, but you're still going to keep drinking. So like people say you're defeated, but you're proud. I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink as much as I do, but I'm an alcoholic, so I drink. Then the next time you say it, you're going to say it with shame and guilt and a lot of sense of there's no self-worth anymore. But you have to accept the fact that you can't drink because I'm an alcoholic. And then the third time you say it, you're going to say it with pride. The moment you're in a situation like that, where you're at a bar, you're at a party, and somebody offers you a drink, you're going to say, oh, no, I don't drink. I'm an alcoholic. It comes out with some pride. So all that to say is, even if you're not an alcoholic, even if you don't have that sickness inside you, the rules still apply in this situation. It's not, you're not a bitch because you want to keep your composure. You're not a pussy because you don't want to take a ton of shots and then have a dicey ride home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't those guys. There's those guys that are like, oh, you come on, don't be a puss. Drink with us, drink. Those are the guys fighting hard to maintain some masculine. Like they need to exude their masculinity through making everyone around them just as fucked up as they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the most masculine thing you could do is not drink. If you don't want to, if you're just sitting there going like, I don't really feel like getting hammered tonight, it would be so much more masculine. It's way more attractive, you know, to people to be around the person that's like, no, I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with my little soda, you know?
Yep. This next one infuriates me. Cooking. When I told someone I was a chef, they told me my career path was for women.
Okay. Yeah, that's that all makes sense. How many this is also going to tip the scale into a direction where you know, men have taken over that. But how many celebrity chefs are predominantly male?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't really even think of, like, if you were to give me, all right, I can name 5 celebrity chefs that are men and 5 celebrity chefs that are women. I could probably get 3 celebrity chefs, but if you give me some time, I'm not even that big a fan of all celebrity chefs, but I could probably name 5 male celebrity chefs.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably couldn't name 5 celebrity that are still working today. You know, I could name the ones that have ruined their career because they said the N-word.
Oh, no.
You know,
Yeah.
Rachel Ray, and the, you know, I'm out. I can't. Who's it? And she like makes dog food now. She doesn't even make human food. She makes dog food. Yeah, I can't really even think of any other celebrity chefs that are women. But also, other than Gordon Ramsay, you're gonna have to give me some time. But again, that point being that that's so. Emeril Lagasse started the trend of watching a person cook food on television.
Mm-hmm.
He had a whole show. It was like a talk show. He had a fucking, anytime he added garlic to something, people lost their shit. They lost their mind. He's like, I'm going to throw a little garlic. Even if the dish didn't need garlic, he knew he had to throw garlic in something. He could be pouring a bowl of cereal. I was like, I'm going to throw a little garlic salt on there. People would fucking go ape shit. What the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't, guys, none of these. You're so concerned about the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're so just concerned about things that just don't matter. None of that matters. The guy wants to be a chef. So you say his profession is for women? Well, then I guess you don't get to eat his food. What if his food is really delicious? You're not going to eat it because a guy made it? Your dad never made you a bowl of mac and cheese when your mom was out? Well, I'm really sorry your dad, like my dad was bad, but that dude cooked his dick off. That guy cooked and he was really good at it. And he was really proud. Like, I'll say this about my dad, not great. Not good at being a dad a lot of the time, most of the time. There were some glimmers of hope and light where he was like pretty good. You look back and you're like, that was all right. But then there's a lot more where you're like, yikes, it would have been better if he abandoned me, probably.
Oh, no.
It would have been better if he abandoned me in a river. Then I could have been picked up by some bears or wolves, and then I could have, like, that would have been a way better story than the one I got, But that dude cooked, and people loved his cooking, and he took his time. He was also like this. He was like this. He was very much like, if you do these things, you're gay, or it's for women, or he would do that shit. But the one thing that was gender neutral to the man was cooking. You don't have to be, you don't have to have a vagina to cook a meal. I don't understand anything anybody does or says anymore. I just don't understand it. It's so inconsequential. Who gives a fuck about any of this?
Right.
Who gives a fuck? It's so strange.
And then we'll finish it up with this. Something that every man has been told in their life. Being told to man up. I don't even know what that is.
I told that to a guy once, and then I got my jaw broken.
Oh, no.
Because I knew it would hurt his ego. I knew it. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Saying man up to a guy is like calling a woman a cunt. It's them's fighting words. It's our version of that. You don't say you need to man up to a guy, because that's personal. That's very personal. I don't like it. I would say I don't like it. I hate it. I hate it, but it doesn't make me want to man up. It makes me annoyed at the person for saying it. Yeah. I just get annoyed that you would even go that route. Let me be where I'm at. If I'm sad and you're going, hey, man up, fuck you. I want a blanket and some soup. Fuck you. Okay? I don't want to man up. I want to watch A Lot Like Love and drink some tea. I want to be a prissy little girl today. All right? I'm going to listen to some Mariah Carey to boost me up. I might listen to some Mariah Carey on a run. And then I'm going to cook me some spaghetti. How you like that? I'm going to wear my seatbelt and some shin guards. And I'm going to take a ladies defense class. I don't give a fuck. You hear me? I don't care. What do you guys think? You think that list is as ridiculous as we think it is? I'm sure that you do. I don't think we get a lot of these type of male listeners. So I'm not really worried about it. But if you are out there, if you're listening to this show and you're like, I think these guys are full of shit, let us know. Tell us we're full of shit. We don't care. You can send that over to our email, dtbffpodcast@gmail.com. You can send all of your letters. If you're dealing with some fuckers and some bullshit, you can send them all over there. DTBFF Podcast on Instagram as well. Follow the show. Message us your memes and your all the inspirational quotes you can think of that somebody's told you that really got you through it, or something that people told you and you're like, I'm going to take an opposite action. That was terrible advice. If you could do us a big favor, we would love it if you would support the show by going to Patreon, patreon.com/DTBFF podcast, where we have bonus episodes, video versions of the show that are cut up by me. Some things are left in. Unfunny things that I have said have been taken out. I'll listen to an episode and I'll be like, fuck, he kept that in. That wasn't funny. But then when you watch the video, that thing that I said that I didn't think was funny, not in there. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, patreon.com/DTBFF podcast. Just throw in $1 and then you get the video versions of the show. $5 gets you bonus episodes where we review movies. We do Reddit remixes. We talk about all different kinds of different dating shows. Too Hot to Handle's coming out, and I can't wait to have Greg back on the show so we can talk about Bachelorette and Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, and all the crazy reality TV shows that we watch. You can also join the Discord and talk to everyone that is a listener of the show, DTBFF podcast on our Discord. Follow me at Kane Holloway.
I'm at DTBF producer Pat.
That's right. Going Dutch, my dating comedy show, is going to be July 27th at Backyard Kitchen and Tap. Follow Going Dutch Comedy on Instagram, and you'll see the lineups and all the funny clips. And you get to see me and see Katie Thurston was just on my show recently, and she was great and awesome. And she will be on the show. I promise, Katie, I'll have you on the show. I swear. You can also call into the show. What's that number, Pat?
That number is 323-379-5544.
Don't take bullshit from fuckers.
Fuck 'em.
Hey there, if you like the show, you can find bonus episodes and more at our Patreon at patreon.com/DTBFF podcast. And then rate the show 5 stars on iTunes because it's the right thing to do. All music by the Rating Monarchs, produced by Patrick Kelly.
Let's do titles real quick, then I'll stop the recording so we can get everything uploaded. You don't get it because you're white people. I don't trust white people either. 2 youthful bald men. We bring youth and wonder. Filled with whimsy like pixies. It's strange, but all these guys are being really very respectful. Nobody wants to be the villain. I say the wrong thing all the time. The lazy breakup card. It's a heated bag of candy. Sleeping is for women. Or I want a blanket and some soup.